start by saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are live on Esteem Radio Vision, and this is Church News. You can also call it Church Gist. Yes, everything happening around the church, news from the church, gist from the church. So whichever way you want to call it, you are correct. Okay, sitting before you this evening is Chidima Abel. I'm here to give you all this gist as it is happening in the church and around the church. And the very first story I have here is about Nigerian Catholic Church. Nigerian Catholic Church leaders give mixed reactions to USS strikes. This is the very first story here, and it is very, very interesting. While some Nigerian Catholic Church leaders welcomed the USS strikes against the Islamic State group militants in the northwest of the country, an outspoken bishop strongly opposed it, with some church leaders questioning the religious framing behind the action. The U.S. carried out a deadly strike, you already know, in the northwestern Nigeria on December 25th, with President Donald Trump stating the attack targeted Islamic State group terrorists who persecuted Christians in that nation. Now, join me as I share some of these reactions, mixed reactions from the Catholic priest. One of them, Auxiliary Bishop John Bogner Bakeni, he said, just listen to what he said. He said, "It is long overdue." Auxiliary Bishop John Bogner Bakeni of Maiduguri told newsmen that it is also good the Nigerian government is open to international assistance in the face of overwhelming insecurity. He said Nigeria should welcome it. And also, away from John Bogner, another bishop in the name of Bishop Matthew Hazan Kuka of Sokoto State opposed the strikes. This is an interesting one. He said, violence cannot defeat violence. In the words of Bishop Kuka, he said violence cannot defeat violence, adding that Christianity has survived oppression through resilience and not force. He said, let us heed those solemn words of Jesus Christ to Peter, put your sword back in its place. That's coming directly from Bishop Matthew Hazan Kuka of Sokoto. And then another bishop said, that's Father Augustine Ikena Anwuchie. He said a Nigerian donor priest who serves as a missionary in the diocese of Maradi in the neighboring Republic of Niger, he told newsmen that the strike sends a strong message to the Nigerian government, which has largely adopted non-kinetic approaches, considered by some as pampering terrorists through dialogue and even negotiations. And then another father said, that's Father Moses Aondova Lorapo. He's the general pastor of the Diocese of Makurdi. He said, however, that without U.S. support, Nigeria stands no chance against the jihadists. That's coming directly. I'm just quoting Father Moses Aondova. Then another father said, Father Nwankwo Tony Nwezigwe, he said, he's the president of the International Coalition Against Christian Genocide. He said in a statement that this coalition was overwhelmed with happiness to learn that Trump had ordered the strikes. So you, watching us right now, what do you have to say? What is your view? What is your thoughts on all this said so far? I want you to just drop it in the comment section, and don't forget to like and to also share. Tell us your view about these controversial mixed reactions coming from different bishops of the Catholic Church with respect to the strikes. So now moving ahead, I have another story here, an interesting one, something that happened on December 25th. I know you are really waiting to hear this, and I can't wait to also give it to you, dish it out to you. You know, something happened on December Thursday, 25th. Members of the Youth Forum of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, under the leadership of Sheikh Ibrahim Zakzaki, visited several churches. Whoa! I know you are shocked. Are you? Okay. Let's go on. Under the leadership of Sheikh Ibrahim Zakzaki, this Islamic group visited several churches across the country as part of an interfaith outreach initiative. Did you hear that? As a part of interfaith outreach initiative. So what do you have to say with respect to that? The visit comes against the backdrop of long-standing tensions between Muslims and Christians in Nigeria, often exacerbated by intolerance and even political exploitation. Organizers describe the initiative as a strategic effort to reduce conflicts and foster unity between the Christian community and the Muslim community. This was the essence of the visitation by the Islamic group. Now, we were told that in Bauchi State, representatives of the Muslim Youth Forum were warmly received at the Church of Christ Nations, at the Church of Christ in Nations, known as COSIN, C-O-C-I-N, LCC Railway. During the gathering, the forum shared the written Christmas message of Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, the leader of the Islamic Revolution, which called on Christians and Muslims to follow the path of Jesus Christ and stand firmly against oppression and tyranny. Now, Reverend Ram Shalom Gwang, head of Kosin Church, praised the gesture. He said it reflected the true teachings of Prophet Muhammad. He expressed hope that such initiatives will help Nigeria overcome religious divisions, pledged that Christians will reciprocate by visiting Muslims during Islamic celebrations. What do you have to say? Do you welcome that idea? Okay, let's know your thoughts in the comment section. They said, the pastor said he will also allow Christians, in fact, he has pledged that Christians should also reciprocate this gesture by the Muslims. So when the Muslims are also celebrating, he's asking Christians to also celebrate with them, visit them. Okay, let's move ahead. Yao Umar, state chairman of the Muslim Youth Forum, highlighted the importance of peace and harmony, noting that such visits have been conducted for several years. And I'm sure that many people do not even know of this, so I'm just getting to know this today, that this has been happening over the years. He recalled that Sheikh Zazaki directive in 2019 to protect Christians during post-election violence, which saved many lives. Now, in his Christmas message, Ayatollah Khamenei congratulated Christians and Muslims on the birth of Jesus Christ and the new Gregorian year, emphasizing that true obedience to Christ means supporting truth and rejecting oppressive powers. At the conclusion of the ceremony, the Youth Forum presented gifts. They didn't just go empty-handed. They went there with gifts. They presented gifts including a hand-drawn portrait of Jesus Christ. This is the most interesting aspect of it. They went with a portrait of Jesus Christ as a gift to the Christians, to church members. So Christian leaders expressed gratitude and encouraged continued interfaith exchanges, voicing hopes of attending future Islamic celebrations hosted by the followers of Al-Libat. So this is one of the stories here. And then moving ahead because of time, I have another story here about Pastor Chris Okafor and Doris Ogala. There's a new development. I don't know if you're aware, but I'm here to give you the gist. Pastor Chris has actually apologized. That's the latest. He apologized in front of his congregation. He knelt down. In fact, he went on his knees and apologized to Ogala. Although he said something that everything actress Ogala said was not all true. Part of what she said, according to Pastor Chris, was not true. And some of them were true, according to him. Then he called her to forgive him. And then Nigerians are also appealing to actress Ogala to forgive Pastor Chris. Now, looking at it, a pastor said something very, very funny, but then it made a lot of sense, and I know you would like to hear it. A Nigerian pastor has defended Pastor Chris Okafor. Whoa. I know you'll be asking why. Why would a pastor defend him? With all that he has said, why would a pastor defend him? Now, hear what a Nigerian pastor said about Pastor Chris Okafor. A Nigerian pastor has defended Pastor Chris Okafor following the allegations of a romantic relationship involving actress Doris Ogala, arguing that responsibility in such matters should not be placed on pastors alone. He said it shouldn't be placed on clerics alone, and that church members bear equal accountability. Why did he say so? Let's go on. Pastor Gideon Chika Onyudo, popularly known as Beloved Onyudo, who leads Christ Divine Worship Assembly International, shared his opinion in a video he posted on Facebook page on December 23rd. In the video circulating online now, Pastor Yudo questioned public outrage directed at religious leaders, suggesting that accountability should apply equally to, members involved in alleged relationships with pastors. How do you see this? Is it right? Do you agree with Pastor Yudo that the responsibility should be shared between pastors and those that were involved in illicit acts? Now, let's go on. If you are saying, according to Pastor Yudo, he said, if you are saying, why should a pastor sleep with a member? Then why should a member sleep with him? That's the question the pastor is asking everyone, including you and me. He said, questioning why pastors face harsher judgment than members for the same alleged conduct is wrong. The cleric alleged that individuals sharing videos and commentary linked to the actress were enemies of the church who were seeking to undermine the church. One lady, according to him, he said one lady, the color guy, came out and is talking against Pastor Chris. He said anybody peddling those videos or peddling those nonsense is either you are an antichrist or you have been an enemy of the church for a long time. It is now left for you to draw the line. I mean, I don't know what you are saying right now in your mind concerning this. Now, the pastor said he claimed those behind the allegations do not love Jesus and are bent on causing division by attacking the shepherds so the flock will scatter. According to Pastor Yudo, the controversy would ultimately help Pastor Kafo identify genuine members of his congregation. He added that if the alleged relationship had resulted in marriage, it would not have generated the same backlash. That's what he said. If he had married Doris Ogala, actress Doris, she wouldn't have come out to tell the whole world what the pastor did to her, how the pastor killed her brother, how the pastor buried something in his church. She wouldn't have come out to say all those things. She would have, buried the whole truth. If the pastor had married her, this is the argument Pastor Yudo is saying. He argued that the criticism stemmed from the fact that he did not marry her. He noted that if Pastor Kafo had married the actress, the matter would not have attracted criticism. But because the alleged affair did not lead to marriage, he is now being labeled fake. This one is too much. Now, the pastor further stated that both pastors and church members would face the same divine judgment for wrongdoing, insisting that it is the same hellfire for all sinners. He described the situation as sinners judging other sinners for sinning differently. That's the way Pastor Oyudo put it. He is saying this, and I'm just quoting him directly. Now, he concluded by warning that critics, I need you to listen to this very well, that critics were seeking the collapse of churches and urged religious institutions to protect themselves rather than joining public condemnation based on unproven claims. He explained that enemies of the church often wait for negative news to confirm their suspicions. So do you agree with him? The defense comes amid a complex legal and public crisis involving Pastor Chris. You already know the background story. But now the latest is that, just like I said before, that Pastor Okafo has finally apologized in front of his congregation. He went on his knees. I saw him. He knelt down and was apologizing to the entire congregation, but then most especially to actress Doris Ogala. And now, Nigerians are very emotional. A lot of people are already calling out actress to, forgive Pastor Chris, since he has already apologized. So now, let's just leave that story behind. I need to know what you are saying concerning that with respect to the stories. I want you to just go straight to the comment section and leave a comment for us. And don't forget to share and like. You are still live on Esteem Radio Vision. Now, moving ahead, we just go straight to St. John's Cathedral, Iloro, Ilesha, as they mark major milestones. This is an interesting one. 168 years of Christianity in Ijesha land. St. John's Cathedral, Iloro, Ilesha marks major milestones. The Cathedral Church of St. John, Iloro, Ilesha, Diocese of Ilesha, Anglican Communion, is set to celebrate a triple historic milestone as part of its 2025 Feast of Dedication, highlighting over a century and a half of Christian presence in Ijesha land. Wow, this is interesting. According to official church records and commemorative materials, the celebration marks 168 years of Christianity. My God, many of you watching this right now, I'm very sure we're not born by that. By that time. You don't even know when this happened. I don't know what year would this be. Imagine 168 years of Christianity and Anglicanism in Ijesha land. 67 years since the foundation of the present cathedral structure, and the 57th anniversary of the dedication of the current church building. Now, archival photographs reveal the remarkable architectural journey of the cathedral from the old St. John's building to the new structure completed in 1968, and finally to the imposing present-day cathedral that now stands as one of the most recognizable Christian landmarks in Elisha. Historical documents credit the vision and leadership of early clergy and lay members, including the late Reverend S.O. Matthew, whose tenure in the 1940s laid the groundwork for the transformation of church worship, church education, and even infrastructure. Now, records show that the cathedral project was driven by local fundraising, sacrificial giving, and the involvement of indigenous architects and contractors, reflecting strong community ownership. This shows how, community building is, how important community building is. Now, the present cathedral, designed by Mr. Bayo Fafowora, a son of the church trained in architecture in the United Kingdom, was inspired by classic Anglican designs, including twin towers, patterned after those of St. Paul's Cathedral in London. Construction began in the late 1950s amid financial and logistical challenges, but was completed through perseverance and collective faith. Now, the 2025 Feast of Dedication was themed, Christ shared a humanity for us to share in his divinity. That's the theme. Say will be celebrated on Sunday, December 28, with special awards recognizing outstanding parishes and service contributions within the cathedral community. Church leaders say the anniversary is not, only a celebration of bricks and of mortar, but a reflection on the cathedral's enduring role in spiritual growth, in education, in moral development, and community cohesion in Ijesha land. As St. John's Cathedral looks to the future, the celebration stands as a reminder of our faith, of our unity, and local commitment shaped of Osun State's most enduring religious institutions. Stay with us, don't go anywhere. This is we have been wrapping it up, but one more story before I wrap up the show this evening on the church news. Now, 130 kidnapped children and teachers from Nigerian Catholic Church has been freed. This is the latest development. The Nigerian government has already announced that all the 130 remaining school children and teachers kidnapped from a Catholic boarding school in the Niger State have been released. This is where we'll be wrapping up the show, but don't forget, you need to give us a like, share, and also comment. What's your thoughts on all the stories so far? Like this recent one, this last one is a welcome development. We are happy about it. Personally, I am happy that these children and teachers have been released. It's a welcome development, yes, because I know when things like this happen, people are left in panic. But with this news, everyone is happy that these children have been returned. So we need to know what's your take on all of these stories shared so far concerning the actress and Pastor Chris his apology? How do you see his apology? I mean, do you think the pastor apologized at the right time? Do you think the actress herself should forgive him? Let's know your thoughts on this and all other stories. Thank you so much for staying with Esteem Radio Vision. And don't forget, this program will still come your way again, same time next week, Sunday. Okay, and to my producer, I want to say a very beautiful thank you to you for, making this program a successful one. And to our CEO, thank you so much for all what you do. In the person of MDK Michael Adeboye Ashaolu, thank you so much. I still remain Chidima Abel. Good evening.